Hi, this is Amy again. I serve as one of the spokespersons for Nehemiah Reset. Today I wanted to talk to you about the book of Leviticus. Leviticus begins with the people of Israel at the foot of Mount Sinai. The glory of the Lord had just filled the tabernacle, Exodus 40 verses 34 to 38, and God now tells Moses to instruct the Levitical priests and the people of Israel concerning sacrifices, worship, the priesthood, ceremonial cleanness, the Day of Atonement, feasts and holy days, and the year of Jubilee. The central message is that God is holy and He requires His people to be holy. The book also shows that God graciously provides atonement for sin through the shedding of blood. Traditionally, Jews and Christians recognize Moses as the author, writing sometime after the giving of the law. Leviticus outlines God's covenant expectations. Yahweh and the Hebrew people formally entered into a covenant, a contractual agreement, at Sinai, Exodus 24 verses 1 to 8. As God's chosen people, Israel was expected to live in a way that honored Him. While the book of Leviticus elaborates on many laws about rituals and sacrifices, the true focus of the book is holiness, ensuring that the people maintain a community worthy of God's special presence. Holiness means being set apart for a purpose. Maintaining holiness involves having the attitude of respect that God's holiness deserves. In Leviticus, God repeatedly states that His people must be holy because He is holy, e.g., Leviticus 11 verse 44. Obedience in ritual and ethical matters is essential for the preservation of Israel's holiness. In this way, Leviticus links worship with ethical living. The title, Leviticus, comes from a Greek word that means having to do with the Levites. The Levites were descendants of Jacob's son Levi and a tribe of Israel, Genesis 34, 49:5-7. Moses, the man who led the Hebrew people out of Egypt, was a Levite, as was Moses' brother Aaron. The Levites were responsible for maintaining the tabernacle, the sacred tent where God's presence would dwell among the people. Leviticus is set during the Israelites' stay at Mount Sinai after the Exodus from Egypt, see Exodus 19. Most of the book records God explaining His laws to Moses. Many of these laws focus on purity and aim to establish standards for holiness among God's people. Leviticus is the source for what Jesus identifies as the second most important commandment, loving your neighbor as yourself, Leviticus 19 verse 18, Matthew 22 verse 39. Leviticus can be divided into 6 sections. The first section, Leviticus 1 to 7, gives instructions for various sacrifices. The second section, chapters 8 to 10, narrates the establishment of the priesthood as Aaron and his sons are ordained, and God's glory fills the tabernacle, Israel's portable tent shrine, compare Exodus 28 to 29. In Leviticus 10, 2 of Aaron's sons are punished for offering worship to God inappropriately. Even the priests need to recognize the importance of obedience in Yahweh's presence. The third section, chapters 11 to 15, contains regulations about ritual purity and impurity. This section includes the dietary laws about what animals are suitable for food and what animals must not be eaten, chapter 11. The rules about how to handle skin diseases are also found in this part of Leviticus, chapters 13 to 14. Jesus acknowledges these laws when He heals a leper, telling the man to visit the priests and follow the proper rituals for purification, Matt 8:1-4. The fourth section, Leviticus 16, gives instructions for the annual Day of Atonement, when special sacrifices were offered to cleanse the Israelites of their sins. On this day alone, the high priest could enter the Holy of Holies, most holy place, the inner chamber of the tabernacle. The fifth section, chapters 17 to 26, is of holiness code. By following this system of ethics, which reflected God's own holiness, the Israelites confirmed their covenant with God and showed themselves to be His holy people. The sixth section, chapter 27, gives instructions about vows and is patterned more like the earlier chapters of the book, chapters 1 to 16. It appears to have been placed there to avoid ending the book with the list of curses in Leviticus 26. The book of Leviticus is divided into 6 different stories. They are 1. Laws concerning sacrifices, 1:1 7:38. 2. The consecration of priests, 8-1 10-20. 3. Laws concerning purity, 11:1 15:33. 4. The Day of Atonement, 16:1 34. 5. Laws concerning holiness, 17:1 26:46. 6. Laws about vows, 27:1 34. In Leviticus, holiness is not simply goodness, it refers to being dedicated to God and separated from ordinary things. As a result, much of Leviticus is about setting boundaries, such as the categories of pure and impure. God is holy and separate, yet he invites Israel into relationship. The inner chamber of the tabernacle provides an example of this. Because this sanctuary was God's holy dwelling place, it was dangerous to enter, 16:2. However, with an invitation from God, the high priest, representing all of Israel, could enter into God's holy presence and make atonement, signifying that the people are now right before God. Leviticus contains regulations for Israel for worship and ethics. But it also sets the stage for some of the most important theological developments of the Bible: sacrifice, priesthood, and maintaining a right relationship with God himself. Building on the words of the prophets, the New Testament articulates Jesus' death on the cross as an atonement for all of humanity's wrongdoings. This act makes it possible for all believers in Jesus to act as priests ministering to one another, because Jesus himself intercedes today for us as our great high priest in heaven, 1 Peter 2 verse 5, Hebrews 4 verses 14-16. I hope this gives you a quick summary of the book of Leviticus and the key ideas contained therein. To learn more about other books of the Bible, visit our website at nehemiahreset.org or our rumble.com channel. If you want to support us, like this video and subscribe to our weekly newsletter detailing our recent videos by subscribing at nehemiahreset.org/email. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Hi, this is Daniel again. The previous video was sponsored by Nehemiah Reset, a 501c3 Bible-believing organization. Our mission is to assist Christians in developing a stronger biblical worldview as it pertains to relevant cultural and biblical issues. We seek to inform Christ followers, equip them, and mobilize them into action to vote their biblical values and to actively engage in our culture locally and at the national level. We are committed to help Christians and non-believers to develop a better biblical worldview. Nehemiah Reset produces videos and ebooks to assist believers and explorers in developing a biblical worldview when it comes to cultural and biblical issues. We produce videos on key topics like public school indoctrination, the woke agenda, sex education, equity and inclusion, climate change, immigration, religious freedom, and lessons that can be learned from key subjects in the Bible. To learn more about Nehemiah Reset or to watch our latest videos, go to our website at nehemiahreset.org or our rumble.com channel. We produce new videos every week. To get a free weekly list of our latest videos, sign up for our weekly newsletter by signing up at nehemiahreset.org/email. You can support our website by liking our videos, subscribing to our channel, or providing donations to help us advertise for new subscribers. Thanks for your help in growing God's kingdom and bringing more people to Christ. Thank you for your support and help. Have a great day.